everyone. If I
Hello, hello.
did this
Hi.
correctly, we should be streaming now to the Awards and Personalization Association's Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channel. I was able to get that set up for us. Yeah, I think in these first few minutes, typically we like to give folks a little bit of time to join the call or join our live stream, I should say. Sorry, I'm like on Teams meetings all day, and it feels like this is definitely a different space, but talking a lot. But thank you so much to anyone that's tuning in right now to our live stream. My name is Angel Martinez. I have the pleasure of working on the marketing side for the APA, and I've been loving hosting these with all sorts of different members that are in the APA, getting to learn who they are, but also talk about programming for the APA Expo, which we are a few months away from now into the 2026 show. And super excited to talk about the education schedule today. Before diving into that, one of the questions I'd like to ask folks in the comments if you're joining us is tell us where you're joining from. What city, or perhaps if you're from a different country, welcome as well. And yeah, just to build community in that regard for anyone that's in this industry, to connect with folks that might be near but also far, but we're all in this industry. Um, would love to give a little bit of background on what the 2026 APA Expo is to kick us off. The Expo from the APA is the must attend event for anyone and everyone in the awards and personalization industry. It's a chance to learn about the latest advancements in personalization technologies, including but not limited to laser engraving, sublimation, UV printing, heat transfer, sand carving, and many more things, all while also connecting with experts and innovators that are within this industry. The Expo offers a range of educational opportunities, which we'll be talking about today, hands-on product demos, and networking to design to help everyone grow their knowledge, skills, and business. The 2026 Expo will be from February 24th to 27th, 2026 at the Horseshoe Las Vegas. And as you see below, registration will open on October 27th. That's a lot of talking from me, but I'd really love to turn the mic over to the guests that I have joining me here today, Mike Westbrook and Megan Raymond. Starting with Megan Raymond, welcome. Could you share a little bit about yourself?
Well, hi. Thanks for having me. I am one of the owners of Raymond's Trophy and Awards, and we're out of Bakersfield, California. So we're on the West Coast. Um, I was a chair for education last year. Mike is the chair this year, and I really wanted to still stay connected. I'm on the board, and I have been a part of APA since the beginning. It was ARA when I joined, and I've been in the industry almost 30 years now. So, education to me and continuing education is the only way to stay relevant in our business. So, I truly believe I love the expo for the trade show, but I love the education. That's the best part for me. So, thanks for having me, Angel.
Yeah, no, thank you, Megan. Mike, welcome as well. Could you share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Megan and Angel, thank you both for being here. My name is Mike Westbrook. I'm the owner of High Laser Engraving in Denver, Colorado. And as Megan said, this year I'm the education chair, committee chair. So we work with the committee to put together what I hope will be a really good educational program for the 2026 Expo. It looks good to me. I'm excited about it, and I hope it meets the needs of all of you out there.
Absolutely. And that will, at least from an outsider's perspective, um, I personally don't have a business in this association or in this industry, but to learn from folks like Megan and Mike and other people who have been in this industry for a couple of years to 10, 15, 20 plus years, there's always something to learn. And I feel like there's always so much value that comes out of the education schedule. So at the expo, but thank you both for being here today. I have some visuals here that I hope will guide our conversation today. But the first thing that I'd like to bring up again, registration will be opening October 27th. But you can book your hotel right now if you visit our website, personalizationpros.org/trade show /hotel and travel. There you can book your hotel using the APA rates to make sure you save a little bit of money during your stay at the expo. But definitely save that date for registration because you definitely won't will want to get your place in a lot of these sessions. Um, Mike, I know you mentioned in your words that you are on the education committee. Could you tell everyone that's joining us how did you get involved in the committee and what's that experience been like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am also on the board with Megan and a bunch of other people. And when you sit on the board, the president-elect, as he's coming in, will reach out to find different people to chair these committees. And so our president is Wilson Brim, and he reached out to me and asked me if I would chair the education committee. And then he reached out to a few other folks to build the committee, and together we all programming together over a series of meetings over the past few months. So that's how the process works. It's actually a lot of fun. We had a really good team. Um, and it was fun. It was exciting. And so I hope that comes through in what we've done.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Megan, question for you that's building off what Mike just shared. I know he told a little bit about how the process to create the program, but I know in your experience, you've been heavily involved in APA education year in and year out. Megan, what's something that makes Expo education unique in that matter?
So the comments that we gather every year from past education really sets the tone for what's going to come up in the next education because our industry is constantly changing. It's a constant revolving door. So if somebody who's been in the industry for a really long time, I'm still looking to learn something new. We just bought a UV printer. And so for me, UV printing is something I'm going to need to learn more about. So we're watching what's happening. That maker community and our old awards industry is kind of marrying together. So we're
Hmm.
taking that information in and we're finding what is the most relevant, what's the most important to our past attendees, and what's important. I mean, you're putting stuff out there, Angel, on M2M and on Facebook. What do people want to see? Like they need to tell us what they want to see. And and
Right.
that's the only way we can make the education be the absolute best. And I think we do a really good job of listening to what the people want. But the only way that works is if they tell us what they want. So those comments at the end of that session, that QR code is super important to be able to tell us, what are you looking for? You know, we noticed this year, we did a webinar and we noticed last year AI had a lot of traction. This year, AI is going to have a lot of traction. Justin started it off, Justin Barn, for the webinar this year, which kind of goes into the expo. And so you've got
Mhm.
a beginning education. Mike did a bunch of that last year too with some AI. And then Justin's also going to do an advanced version. So we've got some fun stuff going on this year that you are not going to want to miss.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Megan. So that's a great transition into our the next part of our program, which is talking a little bit about kind of the layers that are in the education program. Mike, Megan have already alluded to a lot of this, but my question for you: could you just kind of like just walk us through like the categories, the topics, and the formats that make up the APA education schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look at the red bars, business, marketing, and technical, we try to, based on the feedback that we get, try to slot educational sessions into those. So under business, you might have marketing or sales or how to expand or grow your business. Under technical stuff, it could be, like Megan was talking about, training on how to use the UV printer and how to be more efficient with some of the equipment and things like that. Then underneath that, we've got the general sessions, the hands-on, and the roundtable. So the roundtable is a place where we have different experts set up at tables within a room, and you spend a few minutes at each table, and we kind of rotate around, so you get to hear and ask questions of experts, and also input into those groups. The hands-on sessions are usually done by our vendors, and a vendor, say, like a UV vendor can come and say, I'd like to do a hands-on session in the booth and
Mhm.
open that up, and people will pay to go to that particular vendor and learn certain techniques that they might know that would help you. And then the general sessions are just some of the things that are, the general sessions that everybody goes to on Tuesday and Wednesday, which is the bulk of what education is the general sessions. And then under that, you've got the learning lounge and panels. The learning lounge is usually done out on the trade show floor, often also done by vendors. And then the panels are, last year I sat on an AI panel. So the panels can be a lot of different things. It just depends on what the hot topics for the year are. And 3 or 4 people will usually sit on a panel, and then the audience will be able to ask questions on that panel. And under that, we have all the different things like laser design, AI marketing, software, industry history, sand carving, UV printing, business strategy, and lasering, which is lasering is iconics. But those are just some of the areas that we try to fill or at least this year tried to fill in. AI has been really hot. Light burn is really hot right now, so we're going to have some more light burn sessions. UV laser engraving is pretty pretty hot in the market right now. So we're gonna have some sessions on using a UV laser and how that is different from, say, your CO2s and your galvos. So lots of different areas where you can expand your knowledge. And I would just say I agree with Megan that for me, Expo, really the whole association, but Expo is what helps us continue to grow our business, build our business, stay on top of what is cutting edge. And some things we adopt, some things we don't, but we learn about almost all of it from Expo. So it's the education sessions are a great way to grow as an individual and grow your business.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Mike, for that breakdown. And the next slide I'm super, super excited about. So probably, I guess, like the big reveal of our lineup of speakers that we're so thankful to be joining us in 2026. These are the folks that will be speaking on our education schedule. You can start to read their session descriptions on our website if you want to begin exploring and thinking about what sessions you're going to be attending. But Megan, throwing it over to you, what kind of like sticks out to you about this fantastic group of people that will be joining us in 2026? I know there's a mix of folks that have been doing this for quite some time and folks that have engaged with us for just last year. But anything that sticks out to you about this lineup?
I love that we have such a broad group of people. And the thing is like we have a new whole section that's coming in from the maker community. And we have so many of them that want to speak that in our industry, which is a little bit, a little different from what they've done. And yet we're all kind of working together. And I love seeing that we're getting repeat speakers because they're adding something new. I love to see the new speakers coming in. And the influencers, right? So we've got these people who have this online presence that might be kind of new to the legacy members of the world, but we're learning to embrace it, and they're embracing us and teaching us and walking us through. So we have everything you could possibly imagine, from business strategy to software to simple technical things that we just probably need a little brush up on from here and there. And then, familiar faces, new faces. I love seeing new faces in the industry come in because it just really keeps our education relevant. So I'm excited. It's a great mix of people this year.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Uh, and a lot of these folks I've had the chance to like get to meet for the first time last year, and I don't know, just really, and as you said, it just this bringing together of folks from the maker community and from the legacy group that the APA has served for many years, and I think that's just been an awesome thing to see how this community is now evolving, and just that knowledge just continue to be shared, and yeah, really love to see that.
Well, that's
Um,
that's a great part of APA, right? We all want to see everybody strive to do better. And I think that this group, APA as a whole, everybody just wants to help each other out. Like really, truly, it's the strangest industry where people really want to give knowledge to each other. And I love that about it. And I'm seeing this kind of dynamic feel and this I don't know, it's not a flat feeling. People are really excited to just get out there and say, listen, you can make this, you can do this, you could do more. Your business doesn't have to stay all by itself, stagnant in its little corner. You can always do more. And everybody here is encouraging each of us to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Building off that, giving a little preview of what are some of our other sessions that Mike and Megan have been touching on, our roundtables and our panels. So we're still bringing together the folks that will be leading these specific parts of our schedule. But our roundtable is always a great opportunity for supplier, vendor, and retailers to come together and discuss shared challenges or shared opportunities that they're seeing in their own businesses. And for panels, seeing the two topics that we have for this coming year, brand, business, and growth, strengthening B2B and B2C relationships, and the future of personalization, technology, innovation, and industry insights. So a lot of stuff that folks will get a chance to sink their teeth into. And then I'll just put this on our view as well. I know it could be a little bit small, but if you want to follow along and check out the full schedule on our website, definitely invite you to do so. But Mike, throwing it back to you. What's new this year? I know you've been working on the education committee as chair. Just asking that question. What's new this year?
Yeah, I think, one of the things I'm excited about, because we just put a UV laser in here, is the UV laser classes. We've got a course on how to create your own custom awards or build your own awards, which I think is kind of timely for the time that we're in. It's good to kind of learn how to make things that are sellable that maybe aren't off the shelf for a number of different reasons. But I think that'll be a great session. I agree with Megan. It's nice to have, the business climate is dynamic and it's always changing. And so we went from, the phone book, yellow pages, and we went to internet, and now we're going into AI, and all of this creates new opportunities, but also new challenges. And so this year we're focusing on some of those things, new technology, some new things will be at the show that we probably haven't seen before in our industry. So it's always exciting to go out to Las Vegas and see what's happening. It's always exciting to see things on the educational session that maybe we haven't seen before, and we do have some of that on there. But then it's also great to see some of the some of the things that are just kind of staples of the industry that really never change, and we got some of that on there as well. So pretty excited.
Absolutely. On that same those same lines, I know I kind of maybe sped through this part, but Megan, throwing it back to you in the spirit of what's new this year, going back to the roundtable and panels, just kind of like what brought us to these topics. I know you're someone that has been in this industry for a long time. You can speak better to why these topics in terms of panel and roundtable discussions.
I think last year we really wanted to focus on how things were going right now. And now we're looking at, we kind of know what's happening now post-COVID, right? I know we're several years post-COVID, but now we're looking at, we know what's happening now. How can we grow into the future? Because obviously, with all the changes and things that are going on, tariffs and supply chain issues, which are still a thing, we need to help that person coming into the industry, and we need to help the person who maybe is in a new part of the industry learn how they can move forward. And the panels and the roundtable are set up to help you have a conversation with your peers. You're going to have somebody who will help moderate it, but you'll have your peers who will give you information that maybe even some of the suppliers aren't even aware of. You might be just having a conversation that's like, oh, I can do that. Oh, okay. So the panels are set this year to talk about how to be more, how to do better now, but also how to prepare for the future. And so I think that is a great way to just sort of marry in from what we did last year. And get those people who are thinking, how do I make it bigger? How do I do more? Into the conversation with other people who are doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Mike, anything to build on that point as well from your perspective in the industry?
I think one of the things that Megan said is the way I read it is synergy, right? So there's a synergy in this group, and it's partly because everybody in this group is a business owner, and some of these business owners have very, very large businesses, and some of us are in the middle, and some of us are just coming in as brand new business owners. And so you've got, even in education, you'll have somebody that's got a very successful large business, and you'll have somebody that has a very successful small business, and somebody in the middle, all sharing their knowledge and information. So I think, I think that makes it a really dynamic place to come together. Megan's 100% right. I have never, I'm 57 years old. I've never been in a group of people that want to see other people succeed as badly as this group does. Nobody wants to see you fail here. We all want to share everything we can to help you succeed, and then we also draw off others' knowledge to help us succeed. So it does create a really cool synergy and a dynamic that I don't know that you find this in too many associations when you're competitors, but it's a great place to come and learn. And beyond that, I mean, Megan and I are friends. Megan's husband Wilson becomes a friend. You meet these people that become not just relationships, but friendships, people you can reach out to all year long, and ask questions. And, earlier this year, I was asking Megan to send me a photo of how her dye sub area is set up, because ours is kind of a disaster. And within a day, maybe within a couple hours, I had a photo of how it's laid out. I was like, okay, we probably need to look at doing something like that. So it's really cool to have those kind of relationships and connections. And there is a synergy in it that you probably aren't going to find in a lot of places. So come and join us and be a part and share your knowledge. We want to learn from you as well as share our knowledge with you. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, Moving on to one of the questions that I've been really excited to ask both of you, just because I'm curious about your thoughts. Mike, will stay with you for a second, but with this new schedule, is there a session that you're personally looking forward to attending? Any of them that you want to give a shout out to, or I'm really curious to see what we're going to dive into with this session.
yeah, this is always hard for me because there are so many good ones. I'm actually looking forward to Megan's session. So we're in an environment right now where bringing on new people and getting new people trained is difficult. It's hard to find good help. So looking forward to Megan's session. Looking forward to definitely looking forward to a couple of the Lightburn sessions. There's going to be a session, Lightburn and Corel together, and how that's kind of, how you can use those two pieces of software together. We run both of those here, so I'm really looking forward to that. There's this, every year there's Eddie Hill's session, um, AI. You know, I don't know if Megan, you're seeing this yet, but people are starting to search on AI, and if you search on Google, you're going to find me, but it doesn't mean you're going to find me if you search on AI. So Eddie Hill's doing a session on how to get your business listed on a new search engine, basically, on a ChatGPT type thing. I think that's going to be really relevant if you want to stay again on the cutting edge of technology. You want your business listed on AI directories or places. So just so much, but I'll always look forward to. But yeah, those are a few.
Thank you. Megan, how about yourself? I forget what number expo this is for you, so I assume there's just so many memorable sessions, but with this 2026, is what session are you looking, or sessions, it doesn't have to limit it to one, but are you looking forward to personally?
Well, yeah, there have been a lot of years of education, and every single year, and this is what I tell people. I mean, there's always a nugget, right? You always get something, and I'm always learning new things. And I kind of touched on it earlier. I Mike sort of started us off on this AI journey a couple of years ago when my husband and I took a class. And I am really excited. Justin Varn from Awards for You is doing the AI sessions, beginning and an advanced one, and Eddie Hills as well. I'm just interested to see how that works into our business, because we've been here a long time, and what we think works, but we need to look at other and new things coming. I also love, we have a session that says, like how I screwed things up, basically.
Mm.
It's real life. And I love that we're talking about something that is the truth because we've all done it. We're all business owners and we've all had to eat that stupid, really expensive piece of Waterford crystal or something because we goofed it up. but I also think it's important to own that. And I love the conversation that'll be had during a session to say to people, it's okay. Like we've all done it, but own it and let the customer know that you'll make it right. Because that's a big part of what all of us do is we have to make sure we have that customer service ability and they have to have trust that we're going to make it right for them. Um, I'm also looking forward. We also use the Corel and Lightburn together here. I don't have a great understanding of Lightburn, but I have taken Robert's class a couple times and I'm learning it much, much more fluidly. And so I want to learn more about it. And even though maybe it's going to be similar to what I've taken before, and I will still learn from it. And so that's important that I maybe retake it because maybe that's how I learn. I need to take things a couple times. And so um, those are ones I will be taking education. So even I always take education. Tuesday is my day. So
We might have lost Megan there, but that's okay. I mean, that was a good point too to end on. Let's see. Give her a second. But for me, I think definitely. I'm not sure. I don't think either of you highlighted this, but the hands-on courses, Mike. I think, though I don't personally, participate, I'm still floating around, and I don't know, just to see folks' faces, when they're like, doing sand carving for the first time or getting to, try out that piece of equipment. It's just really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a mix of hands-on, as Mike has mentioned, and classroom style and discussion style, and just many, many ways to learn at the expo. Uh, I think we might have lost Megan, but that's okay because that gives me a chance to move on to the uh, logistical piece of our schedule or our time together, which is just some key dates that would like folks to keep in mind. I've already mentioned that registration will be opening on Monday, the 27th. Hello, Megan.
oh, I'm back. Internet problems.
It's all good. It's all good. You ended on such a good sentence that it felt natural. So,
Okay.
um, but registration opening the 27th. For those folks that are non-members engaging with the APA, one deadline that you want to keep in mind is the early bird deadline, December 5th. After that, the registration rate will go up. But of course, could avoid a lot of that if you become a member of the APA because registration to all general education sessions as well as access to the show floor is included in your membership dues. So if you want to avoid that early bird deadline or not be bothered with it, definitely encourage you to learn about membership and become a member, or reach out to someone like Megan, Mike, or anyone that's on the board. I'm definitely always open to answer your questions about membership and how it can benefit your business. Thirdly, free hotel stay for raffles. So we'll be again, as in prior years, raffling off a free hotel stay through the duration of the APA Expo if you register by Monday, January 5th. So we'll be doing the drawing that week. After that, if you are not, unfortunately, that winner, that's okay, because you can still win with the savings that we have through our hotel booking rate. But that will close Wednesday, January 21st. So definitely will want to book your hotel at the Horseshoe or at the Paris using APA's booking rate code that is available on the website. Megan, I believe you mentioned this, but definitely being aware that the expo does kick off on Tuesday, the 24th, with a full day of education. So the show floor doesn't open until the next day on Wednesday, but still so much value that you can get out of Tuesday, and some sessions I believe also on the Wednesday morning as well. So definitely don't want anyone to miss out on Tuesday because that's just so much going on that day, though the show floor isn't open. Show floor is open from Wednesday to Friday, and then it closes on the 7th. Mike, Megan, did I miss anything with any of these logistics? You both have definitely been doing this for a longer time than I have, but anything there? Any other tips or maybe logistically that want to give to folks as they're planning to join us either for the first time or for their nth time?
I think
And
it's
I think,
important to make that Tuesday education a priority. The show floor is also a priority, but that education, if you really want to get your biggest bang for your buck, Tuesday is the day to do it, because Wednesday and Thursday is um, a it's not as long. You only have a half a day of education. You still have great education going on, but Tuesday is your day from 7:30 to 6. We've got it jam packed. There are 17 sessions that day. Um, you cannot miss Tuesday, in my opinion. I think that's the day to do your stuff. And then that evening, people you've met, you go have a drink with, or you go have some dinner with. I mean, you just hang out, and then the next day you meet up, and maybe you see the show floor together, or you'll also see suppliers on Tuesday, which is kind of fun because sometimes you get to talk to your reps and things like that on a non-business setting, which is kind of nice. So I listen, sign up, be a member. It is 77 cents a day. You can do that. And then you get into the show and you have all this great education all year long because there's webinars going on constantly. But the expo is just a big, amazing APA award college. Let's call it that. It's your
yeah,
awards college.
love it. Yeah, I would agree with Megan. Tuesday is a day you definitely shouldn't miss. I always looked at the APA and still do as we invest in a lot of things. We invest in some very expensive equipment. We invest in people. But my biggest bang for buck investment in my business is APA. It doesn't cost me a lot, and we've grown our business tremendously because of being at the APA, because of being in those educational sessions, because of being there on Tuesdays, being at the show floor. Small investment for big return if you apply what you learn there. So 100% agree with Megan. I'm always there on Tuesday. I'll be there on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I stay for the whole thing, and plan on doing that for many years to come. So come on out, join us. We'd love to have you guys there. Education is going to be it's going to be good this year. There will be synergy. There'll be some dynamic things happening, and you'll feel it in the air just like we did last year. So come on out and join us. We would love to see you.
And say hi to us because we want to have a conversation with you too. Like, we want to know. Be honest. Tell us what you're seeing, what you want. And the only way we can address that is by hearing about it. So,
For
and do
sure.
the QR code at the end of your classes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. The feedback folks have been giving us over these last few years has definitely gotten us to this point. But, we just want to continue improving the show and the schedule and everything that, folks experience from coming to the venue all the way until, you know, the breakfast and the close of the show floor. So definitely we take feedback very seriously here. So any chance, we get to receive that, it's a gift, and we thank you, and we see how we can apply that into the following years or even other offerings that the APA has. Um, on that note, my final plug for registration opening, we'll be planning to do more of these live sessions with some of those speakers that I flashed on the screen not too long ago to learn about their sessions. Definitely save the date for October 27th to register, book your hotel if you haven't already. Thank you to our sponsors that we have so far for the APA Expo. Really appreciate those companies that are making the investment in this show because it is of high value to anyone that is in the industry. And that's pretty much all I have. Megan, Mike, anything else that you'd like to share with anyone who had the chance to join us or might be watching the recording later on, later in the week or maybe even today?
You know what? I,
Um,
I would second the sponsors. The show couldn't happen without them. A lot of the education that you'll get is actually from them on their equipment, the different things they do. So big shout out to our sponsors. Big shout out to our speakers. It's a sacrifice to come and do that and to share your knowledge. And so just appreciate all of the speakers that sign on to do this. Thank you for that. And then to our members, like Megan said, if you see us in the hall, punch us in the arm, grab us, say hi to us. Um, I want to say I
we're
appreciate all of
people
you guys. So
too.
thank you. That's right. So that's it from
Yeah,
me.
I'd just like to also thank the suppliers that really they support all of us, and they really support APA, and they support education because a lot of them are giving us some of their knowledge too, and they have other suppliers that do the same thing they do. So again, this is an industry that loves to share. And that's really special for what we do. And I wouldn't want to be in another industry. This is what I've done and this is what I love doing. And I look forward to Expo every year. You don't have to be a fan of Vegas. You just have to want to come and learn and make friends and connect. That's what it's about. It's networking, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to network and constantly grow your business. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Co-sign everything that Mike and Megan just shared. And yeah, thank you so much to anyone that popped in for a second or is watching this recording. Um, this today or later this week, we'll definitely have it on our social and on our website. But want to thank Megan and Mike for talking us through this year's schedule. Super, super excited for this year. Get ready for registration. Get ready for another great show, another great expo. And yeah, that's all from us. Thank you so much again. And yeah, we'll see you on the next live stream as we count down to the 2026 APA Expo. Mike, Megan, thank you so much again. And yeah, we'll talk to you all soon.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Angel.
guys. We'll see ya.